Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Spirit Club for Children. And my name in the everyday world is Victoria Friedman, and I'm a co-founder with Dr. Ron Friedman of Vistar Foundation. But something happened to me along the way, to collective consciousness, self-realization, the spiritual journey. I met a teacher who asked me to do some work, a spiritual teacher, with very young children in the form of like a spirit club. It's part of his program. And I have to say that I had no inclination to do that. Absolutely none. I was 35 years old. I was doing big pottery shows, having one-person shows in Saks Fifth Avenue. My studio was very white and very beautiful and very clean for a clay studio. And children just messed things up, and I had no interest in that at all. But this was not a man you said no to. Very, very wise man. So he told me to start 3 days and to take 3 sessions and bring these children, 5 of them, they were ages like from 2 to 7, and bring them in my studio and show them how to make a pot, So that's what I did, and he asked me to set up 3 classes. In the first class, it was okay. They weren't too bad. They didn't know me that well yet. So, they kind of listened, and I showed them how to make a pot. In the second class, what happened that day is somehow the children came into my studio before I did, which was a little unusual. I wouldn't have let them in there. There's a lot of things you can break in a pottery studio. But they were in there, and they were fine. And I walked into the studio. They were at a big table. They were standing on this big, big basement that I had my studio in, around a table. And all I can tell you, it's as if I walked into another world. And it was an amazing world with these beings, with these 5 children. And it's as if something happened and I was suddenly in a very kind of magical play world that we all dream about, that we know about from childhood. It's always been there. We just know about it. But it was there. And it was like I was bigger than the children in form. And my body was bigger, but the children there was no difference between us. Just that I was bigger. I was definitely kind of an authority. Like I didn't know who I was, but I was an authority. And then I started to look at them, and I could see how happy they were to play with clay. So I showed them something to do, and everything that I did was just completely magical. Every time I touched the clay, they would be so responsive, and they would be so respectful of me. You know how children are not respectful these days. They would be like, "Oh, Tory," they called me Tory. Anyway, so I was just taken away. And when they left, I went ahead and called my teacher mentor, and I said, "Oh my God, something just strange really happened. Oh my God." And so excited. I was very elated, And if you knew Charlie, his name was Charlie, he didn't have a huge range of emotion. And Charlie just said, "Oh, calm down. It's not a big deal. I opened a door and you walked through it." And he said, "So don't go into any kind of elation. And, you are a channel for children. And I think you should start reading Rudolf Steiner." That's what happened. And that was it. That's it. Then there were 70 kids a week eventually coming to my clayway. And when I asked him, how did you know that this would happen to me with children? And he said, "Well, when I look at a person, it's like looking at that package of seeds. And when you look at that package, you see on the package that picture of that rose in front of it. And then you turn it around, and in the back it says, 'Plant in the sun, this deep, water so much.'" He said, "When I look at people, I see the picture and I see where they're meant to be." And then he said to me, "And that's what I want you to do for children. I don't want you to teach them anything. I don't want you to be a teacher." He said, "We're going to have to take the teacher out of you and the mother out of you. That's what I want you to do." That was pretty mysterious. And it took 8 years. I worked with him for 8 years and read Rudolf Steiner. And that was kind of the way background beginning of Spirit Club. So reading Rudolf Steiner, by the way, he says that we actually, in past epochs, had clairvoyant vision, humanity. We had a clairvoyant picture vision, like we could see the elementals and the Middle Kingdom. And because we shifted into the objective consciousness, that site was what we paid for. In other words, we gave away that site to get objective consciousness. So Rudolf Steiner has a lot to say about nature spirits and the fairies and what they're doing in the world. Okay, so that's a little background for the grown-ups. Let's see what time we're at here. What I want to do now is I want to screen share with you a little video from Spirit Club, like an introduction to the children at Spirit Club. Okay, so let me just go to screen share and share. Okay, and let's see, which one is it? Is this the one? I think it is. And here we go. Hello, Spirit Club children, and welcome to Spirit Club. My name is Tory, and once upon a time, long, long ago, when I was not very happy, unhappy, I met a wizard. Seriously, I met a wizard, and he told me, well, I know you will be happy if you could help the fairies get the spirit children together to help them, to help the fairies. That was very shocking to me. I didn't know anything about fairies, but this wizard said that I was a fairy queen in the Middle Kingdom. It's called the Middle Kingdom. Now, don't think this is some airy fairy thing. Do not think this is like cartoons. This was very real for me. I was a grown-up when I heard about this. So I'm here to tell you about Spirit Club just a little bit, just to give you a few things about Spirit Club. There's so much that I can't tell you everything at one time. You'll have to tune in a number of times. But what I want to tell you is that when the children, the spirit children, came to Spirit Club, and that's it behind me right here. See that Spirit Club? That's the door right there. And see all those little writings? See the little writings? Those are all secret messages. They're secret messages. And when you become a Spirit Club member, a Spirit Club child, you're able to read those messages. So when the kids, the children, came to Spirit Club, they came in and we had the ceremony that the fairies wanted us to do, okay? And we all had this thing, it's called a singing bowl. It's a singing bowl, and you hit it like this, and then you move it. And it keeps on singing. So we did that, everybody did that. We went around the room and everybody did the singing bowl. And that's probably what we'll be doing when we start Spirit Club, when we go on with it. Also, I have to tell you, when I first started Spirit Club, I went in my house, and no, actually I went on my porch. I had a studio. I had a studio, an art studio, because I was doing art. I was doing pottery and clay. And I went outside my studio, and there was this big deck, and on the deck was a feather. And there was nothing else in the deck, just a beautiful feather. So I picked up that feather, but then I went in the house, and I knew Spirit Club was going to start, so I thought, I need a book, Spirit Club, to write little things in, write my messages in, or write messages from the fairies if they send any to me. And so I went in my house, and of course, I had a lot of books, you know, so I looked and I saw the perfect book. The perfect book, it looked like this. You know, usually in our house, we have everything we need. We have the perfect books. And inside that book was this feather. And guess what? The feather outside looked exactly like this feather on the book. So that became my Spirit Club. Okay? So that's one of the things that happened, all right? Now, the thing about the feathers is, and you know, there's a lot to tell you about the fairies. They're very close to the birds. Fairies and birds are very close. And since human beings have not really believed or thought that the fairies really exist, the fairies have kind of disappeared, like Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell was really a real thing. She told the truth because she said, you know, you can't see me because you stopped wanting to see me, stopped wanting to look for miracles. So these feathers, so they're very close to the birds, and the birds actually leave feathers everywhere so that people like us, spirit club people and spirit children, when they go around, they see feathers sometime, and it's a little note from the birds that they're there. Now, don't pick up any feather. Take a tissue or something, pick it up, put it away someplace in a bag or pocket. Take it home, wash it, and then I have so many feathers, and I'll show them to you another time. Okay. So I want to show you a little bit where the fairies live. Just a short little thing here. I'm going to share my screen with you so I can show you that, okay? So just please be patient with me. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry. So take a look at this, because I go around in the spring and I look for fairies, and I've gone on many, many trips to look at fairies. I've gone with many children. And sometimes the 2-year-olds really tell me what it's about. They really explain to me where the fairies are. The younger you are, the more the fairies come to you, the more you can see them. So very often with very young children, that's what I did. So here is, these are tree knots. Now, if you take a look here, if you look at the trees, look at all the trees, and you will see the tree knots in the trees. I'm moving myself over here. And so take a look, because the fairies live in these tree knots. See, sometimes they have something like that there. They put little green things and everything like that. And they stay in there. Now this one, look at this. See this little opening, but see all these little parts here? They live in there, and they have their big areas inside here, okay? Oh, this is one of my favorites. Now, fairies they're undines, they're water fairies, they're water spirits, they're gremlins, there are gnomes, but these are fairies that are very artistic. Oh, also, see, when you look around there, look for any gold. They love gold. They just love it. Most of them love gold. The gnomes don't really like that. Look at this one, see? Now, when I saw that, I know that those fairies are in there. I could almost see little eyes and stuff right in that knot in a tree. I see all this because they're kind of afraid of people. They like to hide. So if you find things that have like a lot of stuff around them, very beautiful things. Oh, this is like a playground. It's like a big soccer field. They live in here, over here, these little places in here, but here's another one. You can see them. They have like rings around like that. I don't know if they play baseball. I don't know that, but they play games, and these are games. Maybe they're like the Olympics. I don't know. Then you can see how beautiful they are. They're very artistic. They're the ones that help with all the flowers now, and the trees, and the beautiful greens. See, and this one too, this was probably a fairy that's totally into sculpture. These are all little mushrooms sculpted around this beautiful, look, it's almost a heart, They're so beautiful. Really, they do beautiful, beautiful things like that. Okay, let's see if there's one more. One more. You like that? Very mysterious. That's the other thing. Some fairies are mysterious. They do kind of magical things. Yeah. I was very close up here. I was very close up to look in there, see if I could see any of them in there. Okay, oh, this last one. See the little door now? This has a door on it. It's a little door. They're living inside there. How cute is that? Okay, all right. So before I leave you, because you can tune in again, but what I want to tell you is something that you can do to make the fairies comfortable with you, because they need your help, but before they can contact you, really, we need to train a little bit, and you need to do something that makes them feel that, that you understand or that you want to, okay? So this is a very silly thing, but I found out about this. It happened, and I just found out. See this is a little hair tie, the kind you put up with a ponytail, and girls put on ponytail, and maybe your mom or your grandma has ponytails. But anyway, see if you can find this. And then see if you can get a tissue. See a tissue? A tissue. And cut a little square out of the tissue. It's totally fine to have it not perfect or anything like that, to have the edges like that, okay? Now, this is going to be a little blanket that's going to go in here for them to sleep in. If you want to be really fancy, get a magic marker or some kind of a marker, and I'm going to do it down here. And you can make a little design on it. And then what you do is on your windowsill, not next to your bed, on your windowsill, on top of your dresser, you put this little blanket in here like this, see? So it's like a little blanket in here, and you just put it on there. And then they will love to sleep in your room. They will love to take a little sleep or nap in the afternoon in your room. Don't put it near your bed though, because they're not that comfortable people. But if you do that for a little while, you'll see if the blanket changes. Sometimes it moves, and sometimes they throw it off. But so you'll see. But they will start trusting you, and that's the whole thing. They have to trust us before they can work with us. But they really, really need you to help the world. There's so many things going on, and the fairies are very hard workers. They're very hard workers, and they need some help. And so they asked me to get in touch with the Spirit Club children and build a Spirit Club and have them come and train a little bit, learn how to do a few things, and then they'd love your help to help the world. Okay, so to get in touch with the Spirit Club children and build a Spirit Club and have them come and train a little bit, learn how to do a few things, and then they'd love your help to help the world. Okay, so okay. All right, everyone. We're back. Okay. Thank you for watching that. That was a little introduction to the children for Spirit Club. And again, the club is to the children to come and help the fairies. And believe it or not, there are so many people, many of you probably right here, right now, all of you out there, that can be guests here in Spirit Club. Because, in the everyday world, that's what they call our world, the everyday world, not the Middle Kingdom, but in the everyday world, we know and do many things. And sometimes there's something that we should share with the spirit children that the fairies really want us to share with them. So one of the incredible guests that has been by the way, Barbara Marx Hubbard, if you all know her, she was at Spirit Club. She came to Spirit Club. And of course, what was she but the fairy godmother? I mean, absolutely, this is the real thing. I swear she was a fairy godmother. She said that Tory recognized her. And I brought her to Spirit Club. And she told the children that she wanted to see what was their gift to the world. Sound familiar? So Barbara Marx Hubbard was there, many people. But one of our great, wonderful guests in Spirit Club is Noor. And Noor is the master of the laws of the universe. So welcome, Noor.
And welcome to the Spirit Children. And it's an honor and a privilege to be here with all of you. And I want to show you what I'm wearing, because this is a special pendant which I wear around my neck, which is a way in which I am recognized by only a few others as being a master of the secrets of the laws of the universe. And so the fairies may come to me, they may ask for guidance, they may ask to understand what is happening now. And recently, they have been coming quite a bit. And I will tell them the secrets, and then it will help them and will help you, the spirit children. When you hear about these secrets, you will hold them, remember them, and that will help the fairies help this world, the regular world, which needs a lot of help. So let me tell you a secret, because I have many secrets. And the first one is that Noor is not my real name. No, it isn't. And Tory, and only 15 people 15 other people know my real name. And it remains a secret. And maybe sometimes on special occasions, if Tory calls me again to be a guest, I will tell you my real name. And I also have the ability to tell each and every one of you spirit children your star names. This is a very special name for you alone, which when you get it, you never tell anybody else what that name is. You keep it with you as you grow up, and it is a very powerful name. So, but the real reason I'm here is to talk to you, to remind you of what Spirit Club is really about. It's about the wonder of oneness. The wonder of oneness. Oneness. What does that mean? Well, it's one of the biggest laws of the universe. And that is that although things may look very different, like you look different from your friends, and one flower looks different from another, the real secret is they are all one. They're made of the same material, and they are actually so similar to each other that they share feelings and ways of looking and ways of understanding. They are all one. And when you remember that, when you remember one, despite what everything looks like, you are helping the fairies, and they can go and take that memory and help the world. What an incredible thing it is. That's the wonder of oneness. Understanding everything is really one. So, Tory, isn't that an amazing secret?
Yeah, it is. It is an amazing secret. Of course, you've told this to me so many times. Noor always says that. He says, he's in this big universe, but he always goes like this. It's all one, all one. And I go, well, sometimes it doesn't look one to me, like there's so many countries and so many people and so many things. And he said, well, that's the mystery. He calls it like the mystery. And, he's always told me that I have been here. I am here. And all of us are here to discover that. That is our purpose in our life, to discover the one. Is that right? Is that right, Noor?
That is very right. That is, and I like that picture that you gave. Like, here are all these fingers, but one hand, one body, one person, two persons, all these people together are really one. And that is such a magical thing to remember. And in Spirit Club, we repeat that, the wonder of oneness. And that helps the fairies so much, because they can take that message and give it to the people and help the world. Just remembering that. It's such a beautiful message. And I'm so happy to share it with the spirit children. They'll remember it, and as they grow older, they will remember it, and it will be a help to the fairies, always.
That's so important. Thank you so much, Noor. Thank you for being here. Don't go away, though. Don't go away. We might want to talk to you again. Okay, so just stay there.
I will stay here.
Okay.
Never go away, because I'm the entire universe.
That's good. Great. Okay. Well, this is why, I'm saying probably we have adults watching this more than children. Noor, Could you put yourself on mute so that, we don't have interference? Thank you. So, what can I say? I was saying that, there are so many beings that live in the everyday world. A lot of us in the everyday world, I meet them, and they're really hue fairies. Hue fairies are like people that have that fairy, that remember that fairiness from their very young age, and they haven't decided that it's all stupid and doesn't mean anything. Nobody asks you to believe anything. We don't have to believe anything, nothing at all. You just, the fairies want you to help them. They don't want you to believe in them. They just want some help. And we can tell you what we can do, like that oneness. That's very important. And so now also I have another hue fairy that's coming in, and her name is Leoni. And Leoni in the Middle Kingdom is a fairy that she brings a lot of help to a lot of people, but she brings it through fun. She's like a fun helper. They think of her like as the fairyland sweetheart, because that's what she is. She's just the sweetest fairy. And she's always smiling, and she's always has this wonderful, wonderful laugh. And I just, whenever I hear her, I just feel happy. So anyway, Leoni, do you think you can come here? Can you come here?
Yes, do you want me to come there, Tory?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming.
Middle Kingdom. There she is. Oh my God. See what I mean? Tell us about fun. Is that a fun room? Is that your fun room?
It's one of my fun rooms because I have friends over. Sometimes my friends are visible, but most of the time they're invisible. Like me, I'm invisible most of the time. But I do like to have fun, and I like to laugh, and we have secret giggles. And do you like my crown, Tory? You know it's magic? Yes, my magic crown. I can do different things and help people have fun. And I then send out some energy, and then all of a sudden, they could be laughing and having a good time too. And that little so it's important because we got to have peace. How are we going to get together and be one big family if we're not in love with each other? So I do like to be. I thank you for calling me the sweetheart fairy, because I like that. And, I do have some other tools that are invisible, but for you, I'd make them visible for a little bit and tell you about how I help people have fun. Would that be okay?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay. Well, sometimes people aren't feeling so good and they're not having a fun time. So I kind of call it my electric fun meter, fun energy. And even though they're not having a good time, I can make this, remember this is invisible, I can put this around them. And then you know what? They go like, what am I doing? I want to have a fun time. And then they lighten up. So that's one of my tricks that I use, but they never see this. They never see this. So, but that's not all. I've got other invisible things that help them. So, you know what else I do? Sometimes I say, you have to see a rainbow. And whenever you see a rainbow, that reminds you to have fun. So I take off my crown. I have to be very careful. So if I touch certain ones, they send out a lot of energy. And then I tell them, remind them that they can be a unicorn and they can see magical things. So sometimes I let them just see into the Middle Kingdom. And then they remember, oh yes, I'm not supposed to be sad. That doesn't help the world. That doesn't help the fairies. I need to remind them to put on their unicorn eyes and ears and remember all the beauty, all the different colors and sparkles that there are in the world. So that's one thing I do. But you know what? They never see this. I just put it on their head when they're feeling bad or they're looking at something and say, oh, that's so terrible. And then I can put this on them, and then all of a sudden they see many different colors and sparkles. And then even when something bad happens, the angel helpers come out from our realm. They're very different from the other angels, but they are big helpers. And you want to see another one? Because I have another one, because it helps.
Yeah.
Okay. This is one of my favorites, because I love animals. And lots of times when people are feeling bad, they need to pet their puppy, or they need to have their kitty sit in their lap, or sing with their bird, or they can go and find the butterflies. When we look for the butterflies in life, then we're happier. So that brings a lot of peace. That brings people a lot of peace and joy. But you know, they don't see this. But when I put it on them, then they have a different energy. And then they start to look for all the things that make them happy, all the things that make them grateful, all the things that make their heart open up. And then they don't feel sad anymore. So that's what I like to do. I like to help them with all my secret tools. But then there's some that need a supercharge. And that's when I can wear this like this. And I can get in front of them, and then I can put in a little code, depending, because you know, we're all just different frequencies. And so we want to put out the very best frequencies in the world, because that will help us have peace and unity. And just like Noor said, to remember we're all one. So this one is a super duper one. It depends where I wear it. On my head, sometimes I just wear it because I like it and it matches my shirt. And sometimes I wear it because somebody really needs, and I can use this with groups too. It's really big for groups too. But that's what we're here about, is helping everyone remember the adult in them, and that they can come to the Middle Kingdom and they can have a great time and they can be in more harmony, because harmony and joy and laughing, even if it's a silly little laugh, will help the world be a more peaceful. And remember, we're all united. And so I will say, like Noor and Tory have told me, and even me, sometimes I get tired. Sometimes I get tired. And the Middle Kingdom really needs more helpers. And that's why I chose today to let you see some of my very special invisible gifts that I bring to people, so that they can remember to wrap, and maybe they just want to go get themselves. It doesn't have to be invisible. Maybe they want to go and get themselves a little something so that they can feel silly and remember the wonder of creation and the wonder of everything we are. So I'm going to put away my invisible presents that I showed you. I've never shown anyone those before. So I want you to know this was a very special time that I got, and I'm really happy that you let me show that, Tory. And I really love to play with you. And Noor, you're the best. You're the best master of the universe, of the laws of the universe. I've learned so much from you. Thank you, Tory. Thank you, Noor. Can I help you anymore? Because I always like to help.
I feel like I'm wearing all of those. I love that you said we can't see them. Can you imagine somebody could put something on us and we don't see it, and we would feel better? I love that. But I think I would want to wear them too. You know, sometime, Leoni, we have to have a Spirit Club party where everybody wears those together. When Spirit Club is more open, we're trying to build it now, everyone. We're trying to build it, and we need more people and people to help us. And then we need like all the grandmas and all the mommies and daddies to come on it, and then to bring all their children to it so they can see all this. So anyway, there's a lot of work to do. So what else did I want to? Well, I wanted to tell you something that happened just before I went on to speak to Spirit Club. We had some problems in Zoom land. You know, this is all in Zoom land. See, there's the Middle Kingdom, there's Zoom land, there's everyday world. There's so many things now. There's so many, it's so complex. You love that word, complex. I love that word, complex. Anyway, so it's very complex. But as I was sitting down, I was asking in the fairy world, because, you know, I'm the fairy queen. When I went in with those children, I didn't have to discipline at all, everyone. I didn't have to yell at those children at all. Everybody just listened to me. Can you believe it? I can't even believe it. They just listened to me. And I said, why are you listening to me? And they said, because you're the fairy queen. This is all very shocking to an adult, you know, very shocking. But anyway, we went on with it. But before I came on this, we had some stuff going on. And then I was just asking the fairies. And sure enough, they want us some help. They want help from the Spirit Club children and from the Spirit Club adults. And if you really tell the truth, you know you're always a Spirit Club child. There's no such thing. It's just, you know, you get bigger. But anyway, that they told me this is for everyone, and that is the air spirits, the air fairies, the water fairies, the fire fairies are really working so hard on these fires. There's these fires in the everyday world, in California and other places. Maybe your mommy or daddy told you about it, or maybe you saw it somewhere, or maybe you watch it yourself and you hear about it. But there are a lot of fires because it's so hot in the everyday world. And so, you know, the fairies are involved with the trees and fall, and up in the north, the east, the fall here. But they're very involved there. The air fairies are involved because, you know, the air is full of smoke, and then the water fairies obviously are more involved in terms of rain, and the fire fairies, they need help. So here's the thing. So I said, what can we do? So they told me that they need help in their willpower, like, you know, that they feel a little weak, and that human beings, they said, have more will in one pinky, my pinky, I've been looking at my pinky for days. We have more will in one pinky. Look how big our pinky is. They're so tiny, you can barely see those little fairies. We have more will in our pinky than they have. Like, we have a lot of energy in our pinky. In fact, they said the most energetic place where all the energy comes to them from is our hands. Our hands. Because see, look at our hands. Look what they're doing. You know, our mind isn't doing, you know, it doesn't even move. But look at our hands are doing, and our body moves, but look at our fingers. You know, they just go crazy. Our fingers are like wild. And we're going to talk a lot about hands and Spirit Club, what you can do to really get these hands to have that energy. But what they want us to do is anytime we remember, for as long as we want, anytime in our everyday world, to just take up our pinky and just go like this. Just like flick it up and down, flick it up and down. You can do it with both, or you can do it just with one. And they will get that energy. It's like, you know, the waterfalls every places that brings energy, or the wind. Well, our finger actually brings the energy, fairies get the energy from our finger. And they do that. So when you're walking around, suddenly you just remember, maybe you see something, reminds you of a fairy, whatever you remember, you just go like this a little. That's all. I was doing the dishes today, and I went like, doing the dishes, I looked down, saw my, and I started going like that. So if you would do that, that would really, really help them. That's that message I got today because of those big fires. And, you know, they have a lot of things they need help with. They need help with, you know, all the things that are going on because of our skin color. And maybe I do have time. Do I have 10 minutes, Leoni?
Yes, you do. I would never stop you, Tory.
Well, you know what? I was on Zoom, and this wasn't like a real, you know, like I just was on Zoom, and I said to the fairies, what's going on with all this thing with our skin color, the color of our skin? So let me share what they told me, okay? And
Okay.
you know, perhaps we can take a look at that. screen share. I'm getting the hang of this. And then share. And then this goes away. And we're going to share. I hope that's it. Let's see. Yeah. Hello, dear, sweet, wonderful Spirit Club children. So I'm here to talk to you today about some things that are going on in the everyday world. So I know everything is really good in the Middle Kingdom, and I know that the fairies are working so hard, and they want to talk to you about some things. They want to tell you a few things. First of all, we have to have our Spirit Club ceremony. So first I have to ring the gong. So welcome to Spirit Club. Welcome to the fairy world, okay? So we'll ring the gong. Bong, bong. Okay, that's how we come in. Now the secret password, we still don't have that secret password out here, but we will soon. We will soon, because see, we're building Spirit Club online. See, in this box right here, we're building it, all right? Anyway, so but when we go inside, oh, here's my bowl. We have to do the bowl ceremony. Here's my bowl. Okay, here we go. Okay, there was the bowl ceremony. Oh, let's just bring out the magic wand, okay? We have to bring out the magic wand. Again, for those who haven't been here with us before, this is the real magic wand. It's very old. It's extremely old. If you see little feathers still sticking on it, like over here, it's because the birds were very, very close to the fairies. The birds leave feathers around, so to let us know that they're there and that the fairies are there too, and just to keep in touch with us. So anyway, there's the magic one. And also, oh, I got a new book. Hold on a second. Now you all know that I have my Spirit Club book from all the years when Spirit Club met. We all met together. We met together in the Spirit Club house. And that was so nice, but that's not here now. So this is going to be maybe even better, who knows? But anyway, I got a new book. So I just wanted to show it to you because it's really, really, I think it's very pretty. I think it's very pretty. What do you think of my new book? And it kind of opens up in a really nice way. You've probably seen these at the stores, but you know what? I did not find this at a store. I mean it, I did not find this at a store. I found it in my house. I tell you, there are so many things you can find at home. There are a lot of things that are right there at home in your house. If you look around and everything, you look for something, very often you'll find it there. You don't really have to go anywhere to find what you want. You can just be at home. Okay, so I want to talk to you about something that's a little serious, and that the fairies are very, very, they're kind of a tither about it. They don't get concerned, upset, like worried, like what we do. They're just like, they're like a little bit out of sorts, and they, like the sylphs are going a little too fast, and the gremlins are a little too gremlinly. So they're like having some reaction to what's going on in what they call everyday life. They call us everyday life, every day, the everyday world. So it's the everyday world, and they're hearing a lot about skin color. They're hearing about all of us troubles with skin color, and so anyway, they're all like that. So I thought I would ask them to see, first of all, what we can do, and what you can do to help them, but also like what they think that is. So believe it or not, okay, I know you're not going to believe this. I know I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't really believe it. I don't know how I know it, but I don't believe it. But my sister, my younger sister, who I love so much, she has told me that she was a mermaid, that she's in touch with the mermaid world. I'm telling you, she's a very normal grandmother, really normal. She doesn't do strange things or anything. She just tells me all the time that she was a mermaid. So I asked her the other day, excuse me, I asked her, so what is going on in the fish, in the world underwater about color, about skin color? And she said to me, what are you talking about? And I said, I'm talking about everything that's going in the everyday world, about skin color, and everybody is really concerned. There's a lot of conflict about people who have black skin and yellow skin, and I don't know. And she went, I don't really know what you're talking about. And I said, well, isn't there anything going on in the ocean about color? And she said, color? We love color. She goes, everything in the ocean is color. Everybody has a beautiful color. We love all the colors in the ocean. And I go, really? And she goes, oh, yeah. And then she said to me, let me show you. So I wanted to show you what she sent me. I want to screen share with you. So just be patient. Okay, this is what she sent me. All right, so I'm going to share my screen, and then I will show you what she sent me. And then she sent me this. Come on, open. Okay, so she sent me this. Look at that. I mean, and she sent me this, and she goes, this is a friend of hers. She said she's seen this fish in the water, and she said, it's so gorgeous. Its skin is yellow with black stripes. It's a yellow and black stripes skin fish. Nobody has any problem with that. Everybody just says, what a beautiful fish. I mean, maybe some fishes are competing for their colors. I don't really know. That I really don't know about that. So that's one. I wanted to show you that. Then I wanted to show you another one she sent me, which is even more ridiculously incredible. And that's this one. Look at that. That is a real fish. That is a real fish. Can you believe that? I can't even believe it. I mean, who could be like that? How gorgeous is that? How beautiful, amazingly beautiful is that fish? I wish my skin color was like that. I would want to be like this fish. Completely want to be like this fish. Anyway, I'm not, and that's just too bad. Anyway, so that's that fish, okay? Then I start to think about it. And like I started thinking about, what's going on. And I started to think of, first of all, like they say that I am, oh boy, let me get some paper here. They tell me that I'm white, okay? But this is white. I'm not white. I'm not white. This is white. And people who are black are not black. I don't understand what they're saying. So anyway, this is white. This is my skin color. And you know what? I think it's pretty boring. I would call it beige, not a very popular color for me. I mean, my favorite color is red. So, fuchsia. So you can imagine, look at this. It's boring. Okay. Anyway, that's my situation with that. So I started to think what happened with my sister, and then I started to think about birds. So let me screen share and show you this. This is really amazing. Okay, then there are the birds, okay? This is a little bird. Look at that bird. Look at it. I think it's like a Christmas bird because it has red and it has green. And look at the feathers, this beautiful grays. I mean, look at that bird. I wouldn't mind to have an arm that color. I wouldn't mind to have it green, chartreuse green, beautiful. Oh, it would be so nice to look at myself. So that bird is amazing. Don't you? You have to agree with me with that. And then there's one more bird I want to show you. Here's another bird. I mean, there's so many. You've seen these kind of things, but we never really look at them. Just take a look. Take a moment here and think, look in here. Because see, in the Middle Kingdom, it is a kingdom of color. It is a kingdom of color. The truth is actually that there are certain fairies that actually add color. They add color to the flowers. They enhance the color that the flowers are, or the bird. That's what they do. That's their job. That's their love. That's their art. So look at this beautiful bird. I mean, how do you just love that? Absolutely gorgeous, okay? So, and then of course, I'm not even going to talk, I can't even go with you toward flowers. I mean, how can we even begin to talk about flowers? I mean, breathless. Look at that flower. Look at that color. And of course, as you know, I mean, again, I can't even tell you if it's just, I want to remind you, because this is where the fairies live. See, they live in this kind of world. They live inside there, and they're living in here. in in here. Okay? This is where they go and have fun. This is their playground. Okay, so and what I'm saying to all of you actually is that I start to think about the thing about the color of the skin kind of thing. And it was really, it just really, I don't know, it was sad just to think that all of, in the everyday world, there's all these problems with it. I don't have the solution. And the fairies, I kind of said, so what can the Spirit Club children do? What can they do? And they said, if you want to, you can see if your mom or dad would buy you a bright colored t-shirt. Bright like that. Bright like that, red, okay? Buy you a really bright colored t-shirt. You can get them anywhere, but if you want, you can get them in the Spirit Club store here. You can get them there, and they say, I am yellow. And it says, I am orange. I am blue. So that if people say, what color are you? You don't have to say, I am white. When you're not even white because you're really beige, you have to say, I'm kind of tan. I'm kind of a light tan color with a lot of spots on it. So anyway, so that's what the fairy said you could do. You could do that, get a t-shirt, and it's not going to cost your parents anything that we didn't pay for them. And we're not trying to sell you anything that way. Just that you get a t-shirt, you can pick a color that you are, whether you're blue, and if somebody asks you what color you are, you say, I'm turquoise. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you because it was interesting. All that color that's in this world. And there aren't that many colors of skin, and it's very, it's thinner than this shirt. Our skin is so thin. And that's all. Underneath it, it's all the same. You can ask Noor from the laws of the universe and he will tell you. So I'd like to just have Leona and Noor say goodbye, because we're going to go now because there's other people coming here to use the Zoom room. And I want to say goodbye to all the Spirit Club children. And I want to thank Noor and Leoni. Oh my God, we have to have a party, for being here, and for all of you that tuned in or will watch this. And that's it from Spirit Club. Thank you.
Thank you.